Now I'd like to go on to the next section, and I'd like to talk to you about what General Middendorf said yesterday about the Sahel area, which he sees as a canary in the coal mine relating to the impacts of climate change on human security. And you know, in this thing is that with the temperatures rising, certain areas are very adversely affected right now, and that's certainly the Sahel. One of the most affected areas in the Sahel is northern Nigeria. And what's happening there could be considered a preview what can happen in other parts of the world as the impacts of climate change grow. Now, to give you an idea, Lake Chad was once one of Africa's largest freshwater bodies. From a peak of 26,000 kilometers squared, it has now shrunk to under 1,500. Now, while it varies historically, the shrinkage has been accelerating in recent years, and they feel it's largely due because of climate change. And then also propelled by desertification and insecurity and loss of grazing land to expanding settlements, and the southern migration of Nigerian herders is causing violent competition over land with farmers. So now I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Paulo Bolo, who is president of Ecologistics Integrated Services, and he's an executive certificate in strategic finance management from the Harvard Business School, membership in the American Academy of Management, and membership in the National Association of Environmental Management. As a doctor of management with specialization in environmental social sustainability, Dr. Zabolo's capacity includes designing sustainable development initiatives for facilitation of access to global climate change funding and technology to support developing nations. And here is Dr. Paulo Bolo.
Paul Stevens, I want to thank you so much. This is indeed a very great conference that you're having. And we are going to leverage on this to do another conference, which is based on what you have just spoken about. Again, my name is Paul Abolo. I'm the president of Ecologistics in Abuja, Nigeria. Ecologistics is a climate change investment and sustainable development firm. And we have proposed with Climate Solutions Advanced Network Canada to hold an event this summer. And that event is very important in the life of Nigeria and Nigerians. And as you know, whatever affects Nigeria affects Africa. Like Paul said, Nigeria is faced with an array of human security challenges, ranging from the Boko Haram insurgents that have been there for over 12 years to organized criminal gangs and farmer-herder conflicts. We can go on and on to say how human security has become a huge challenge in Nigeria. So what I'm saying is that action is required immediately because the human security challenge in Nigeria is springing out of control. This is not to say that we need to take action at a later date. We need to take action now. Something must be done now and now. We recognize that finance is required to provide solutions to tackle these human security challenges. There is no doubt about that. However, we need to zero down on climate finance, which provides an opportunity to raise finance, which is critical in addressing the complexities of the direct impacts of climate change, such as displacements, forced migration, loss of lives, livelihoods, and poverty. Nigeria is rated as the second country in the world with the largest number of people below the poverty line. So what Ecologistics and Climate Sun have decided to do is that we are currently having pre-meetings with people in climate finance on how to bridge this critical finance gap to assessing solutions for human security crisis in Nigeria. We realize that this is a credible approach to address the issues. So in line with this, we have proposed a conference this summer that will leverage the understanding of the complexities and the multidimensionality of the diverse contributors to these threats. So what we're going to do with this, we are going to raise a comprehensive climate action to scale up access to climate finance for support action in tackling the intrinsic dimensions of the human security challenges in Nigeria. There's no other way to do it than to start from this. So with adequate finance, we are going to provide a range of solutions that can be deployed to address the social, the economic, and the psychological vulnerability that is induced by the direct impacts of climate change on communities, local government areas, subnational entities, and especially on the youths, the women, and the children in Nigeria. It's a grave issue and we must address it. So consequently, the four major components of the proposed conferences are: one, we are looking at increasing and accelerating flows of climate finance to the federal government of Nigeria. Number two, we are looking at increasing and accelerating flows of climate finance to the subnational entities in Nigeria. And number three, we are going to facilitate funding to SMEs so that we can implement the climate science proposed community of practice for channeling climate finance to SMEs in Nigeria. I must tell you that SMEs account for over 75% of the businesses in Nigeria. So this is a critical sector that must be addressed. And lastly, we are going to increase funding to NGOs because NGOs play very critical roles in poverty eradication and other environmental and social vices in Nigeria. So finally, it is projected that the deliverables from this conference will crystallize into a coordinated framework. So we're going to have a framework through a steering committee, and that steering committee is going to include key stakeholders in security, the military, the police, the immigration, the customs, and then in social and economic development so that we can establish priorities. And not only do we want to establish priorities, we are going to go ahead to set up a system that will monitor progress. So this event is going to hold this summer, this year, and I want to thank you all for taking time to listen to this proposal. We will surely extend invitations to you, and we look forward to your being a part of the conference. Thank you again.
Thank you, Dr. Bolo. That was very good, very concise and very comprehensive. So thank you. And now what I'd like to do is to have closing comments for our whole conference.